This is the paper that should be in the very front of your interactive science notebook. You should be doing this after and only after this paper that you picked up when you came in. So let's go ahead and get started. We did 1 and 2 in class the other day. We might have started problem 3, but if not, let's go ahead and refresh our memories. So when we're talking about a graph, if we're looking at page 65, where we're talking about different questions that we can ask when we're looking at a graph. What do you notice? What do you wonder? What might be happening? Well, if we're looking at this, we know the title tells us that this is about Michigan trumpeter swans. And we know that the key tells us we've got adults and cygnets. And it looks like we kind of got them going up as the years go on. And this is the number of swans. Some of you might go, what's a cygnet? Well, if we're trying to think about it, an adult, we know, is a fully grown whatever organism it is, but a cygnet must mean a baby. And those of you who thought that earlier are exactly right. Kind of like a fawn is a baby deer, a gosling is a baby duck. You get the idea. So if we're trying to analyze this, we're trying to think about it, that sort of thing. When we're looking at the trumpeter swans, we're trying to figure out what kind of pattern might be happening, and you should be writing this stuff down on your paper as well. I'm looking at from 1987 to 88. The population went up, it increased. So I'm going to draw an arrow. 88 to 89 looks like that bar went up. 89 to 90 went up. It looks like for all of these, they start to increase. The bars are starting to go up. So as the years go on, the number of swans increase as well. So between, looks like 1998 and 1999 increase, 1999, 2000, you get the idea. So then this would end up being, what are we predicting what happened? But let's start by restating. So we know our trumpeter swans are increasing as the years go on. So it's based on the bar graph, what do you predict occurred to the gray wolf population in 2001? So we could say, based on the bar graph, the gray wolf population in 2001. And so if I'm thinking out loud, this whole graph, this line or bar graph is about trumpeter swans. However, my question is asking me about gray wolves. So I'm going to look at my food chain and I see there's the gray wolf, trumpeter swan, and I know the arrows mean predator, prey, this is what eats this. So according to this, we're trying to figure out what would happen to the gray wolves. If the trumpeter swans we're showing are increasing, so if the trumpeter swans increase, then there's going to be more food for the fox. So their population would increase. If there's more food for the fox, if there's more foxes, then the gray wolves would also increase because they have more food. However, if we're looking at trumpeter swan, their prey, or what they eat, the aquatic grass, is going to decrease if there's more swans that are eating them. So if I'm looking at my trend or what's kind of happening, the gray wolf are probably going to end up increasing. So based on the bar graph, the gray wolf population in 2001 will increase. But I can't stop there. It says make sure you explain. We could say there are more trumpeter swans for the fox to eat. I guess it could be foxes to eat if there are more foxes, then there will be more gray wolves. And I'm going to say because, so for some of you, we didn't get this far when we did it in class, because the gray wolf is the fox's predator. So I gotta make sure I explain. Now, if I'm going on my next one, we gotta restate because it says based on the bar graph, what do you predict? So again, we're talking about the trumpeter swan. It says based on the bar graph, what do you predict would happen to the aquatic grass? So this time, we're trying to figure out what would happen to them. Well, we just said that they would decrease because if there's more trumpeter swans, there's their predator. More predators, the prey would end up decreasing. So let's go ahead and start that out. Based on the bar graph, the gray wolf population in 2001 will increase. Oops, I'm sorry. Will decrease. Will decrease. Later we're going to get into claim and evidence and reasoning, but we're just going to kind of pause for right now. So we've said what happens. Now we have to explain. So if we're trying to explain it, we know the trumpeter swan eats the grass. So if there are more trumpeter swans, then their prey, and I'm going to put in parentheses, the aquatic grass, will decrease. And then what you should be doing now is going ahead and finishing the rest. So there's problem 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I will tell you that the ones that have extra space, it's probably because you are going to want to draw something out. And these are only multiple choice.